PSG lined up in a 4-2-3-1, the same they had in the first leg, without Neymar or Cavani. And United lined up in a very defensive 4-4-2. In the second minute of the game, PSG were already in trouble. Kehrer lost his mind and made a stupid back pass to Lukaku. 1-0 United. Paris needed to pull themselves together and start playing football, which they did. Just like during the Old Trafford game, PSG stood in a 4-4-1-1 off the ball. But in possession, it was completely different. They would switch to a 3-4-3 in the build-up, with Kehrer as a central defender and Bernat on the left. United was in a flat 4-4-2 and they didn't apply any pressure to the back three. So Kehrer and Kimpembe were free to carry the ball forward. In their offensive animation, PSG was in a very structured 3-5 shape, with both wingbacks very high. This gave PSG an advantage because they had 5 forwards against a back 4, which means there was always a 3-man forward as long as they were technically precise. Here's a quick replay of the animation. There you see the back 3 build up and the square in midfield. Kehrer brings the ball forward, and there were many passing lanes available. And 5 men to cover the width against the back 4. United were very passive in defense, and they would leave PSG players a lot of space. No problem for the Parisians to set their block very high in United's half. Huge ball possession and precision too. United had only 70% pass success in the first half. Therefore, PSG would create dangerous situations. Mbappe can't get it there. By playing that low and that passive, United had no interesting transitions. It was quite easy for PSG to recover the ball quickly. This is indeed very low. They would also try to play directly to Lukaku on the break, but Kimpembe kept him under control. In the first half, PSG completed 153 passes in the offensive third. United completed only 20. And 10 minutes after Lukaku's goal, PSG equalized. We should mention that Alves and Bernat's roles were different. Bernat would make runs forward, and Alves would maintain high possession and make quality passes. Mbappe on the cross, and Bernat to finish. Then PSG kept on creating more and more chances. The ball would often go from one wing back to the other. Bernat has an excellent position, but Derrea saves it. The only interesting transition United had was completely spoiled by Rashford. Then Lukaku scored another goal after an error from Buffon. After that, PSG players were more nervous and committed more fouls, like Verratti and Di Maria. Right before halftime, Mbappe even spoiled a 3v3 situation because he lost control over the ball. PSG had 9 shots and United had 3, which means United didn't shoot outside of their goal situations. As Paris played a lot through the wings, there were many crosses, but without a proper striker like Cavani, it was difficult to make something out of them. But PSG kept on dominating, and at the 55th minute, they even scored an offside goal after a lovely action. After that, Solskjaer made a defensive tactical change. They switched to a defensive 4-5-1. Rashford was on the left, and Dalot as a right back. The change brought United a better control of the width, where PSG had so much space before. And they were still parking the bus. Here, after a long ball to Buffon, they don't even cross the halfway line. Minute 68, Draxler was injured and had to be replaced. So Paredes was in for Kara, and Meunier for Draxler. PSG switched to a 3-1-4-2. Marquinhos was back in central defense, Alves was in midfield, and Di Maria like a second striker. PSG was still unable to exploit many crosses they had. In the last 10 minutes of the game, tempo got a little bit more crazy with fast attacking. PSG had switched again to a 5-2-3 in order to score a goal. And on this action, Alves launches Mbappe on a 1v1 with the keeper. But Mbappe falls, and then Bernat hits the post. 90th minute, Dalot shoots onto Kipembe's arm. Penalty, game over.